Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 10th part of What If Deku Was Sanji's Reincarnation, my Heroes Reborn. The author of this great fanfic is Emma. I believe links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 10, The Cavalry Battle. Izuku was depressed, everyone was going to be gunning for him. Because of that he wasn't sure if anyone would want to team up. Momo he already knew was out, Todoroki was also out and Bakugo, no way in hell that was going to happen. Midnight gave the rules in that the points would be added together for teams. The objective was to steal the headbands, which was the point value. Stealing another team's headband meant that they stole the points as well. If someone fell down or their headband gets stolen, they're still in the game. However, if a team knocks another one down on purpose, they would get a red card and they were out. They had 15 minutes to form the teams. Of course, Bakugo was surrounded by a lot of their classmates. But no one was near Izuku. Because his points was too high. And I have the perfect strategy too. He thought. Hey Deku! Called out Ochako, let's team up. Izuku started crying so hard that his tears practically shot out of his eyes. Are you sure you want to team up with because my points are too high? Asked Izuku. That was when Toru showed up wiping away his tears with a handkerchief. I'm in too, said Toru. This only made his crying worse. You guys? He cried out. Isn't it better to team up with friends? Asked Ochako. You're right. Especially in an event that makes everyone turn on each other. Muttered Toru, I get it's supposed to be like the hero ranking system. But I'm starting to think that ranking system is stupid. Why? Asked Izuku, calming down. I don't know if I have time to go into detail, said Toru. Both of them stared at Toru. All right. I have a strategy, said Izuku, but it's better to get one more person. Good idea, said Ochako. Izuku decided to approach Ida first. Ida? Are you available? Asked Izuku. I know you would probably be a good choice for everyone, and I completely understand if you're not. Everyone nearby began to sweat nearby at his reaction. Both Ochako and Toru were concerned. You don't think? Whispered Ochako. Maybe it's past life stress or something. Said Toru, I mean putting him into a situation where everyone would be against in a team thing is not good for him. You're right, I am unavailable. Said Ida, and even if you did ask before I still would have said no. I kind of figured that, said Izuku. That was when Ida felt a glare towards him. He looked around to find but couldn't find it. What's wrong? Asked Izuku. It must nothing, said Ida, but as I was saying. Since this started you've been beating me. This is another rival declaration, isn't it? Asked Izuku, hey I get it. I've gotten way too many lately. It is. Sighed Ida, but you have to remember. This competition is about standing out, and if I cannot beat you, then there is no way to stand out. That was when something struck Izuku. I really shouldn't asked you to begin with, he said. You shouldn't have, admitted Ida. No, I mean I really shouldn't have to begin with the strategy one have in mind we wouldn't last at all, not only lose, but probably be disqualified in some way, said Izuku. What? Ida sputtered out. I'm not giving my battle strategy to a rival, said Izuku. Well, that is logical, he admitted. I was just desperate to have a team that I wasn't thinking things through, said Izuku. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Ida's sweat dropped as Izuku walked away, then he felt the glare again. He walked to his team, somewhat confused. The team consisted of Todoroki, Momo, and Kaminari. Hey, you okay? Asked Kaminari. I don't know if I should be offended or not, said Ida. He's probably going to that flying thing he's been doing during the race, said Kaminari. That would actually make sense. Said Ida, the combination of that ability and my quirk would probably make us crash.
Momo was watching Izuku talk with his two team members and sighed. Is everything alright? Asked Todoroki. It's fine, said Momo.
She didn't want to say it out loud, but she knew that if it wasn't for the promise they made to each other, she would have joined his team and instead of Todoroki's. Because that depression was bad, even for him.
Meanwhile, Izuku was telling his strategy to Achiko and Toru.
Sorry, I should have asked you first,
said Izuku. No, it's fine, if we do it short bursts, then I don't think there will be a problem, said Achiko.
I still think we should have one more member though, said Izuku. They turned to where Mashireo was and saw that he was already part of a team. Looks like Mashireo's already is part of a team,
said Achiko. That was when Toru suddenly shuddered. What's wrong? Asked Izuku. I have a bad feeling about the team he's on,
said Toru. I wonder if it also mean I have my pinky sense.
Pinky sense? Asked Achiko and Izuku.
Oh, in my past life I could predict the future with little shudders in my body,
said Toru. What? Asked Achiko. Why am I somehow not surprised? Asked Izuku. Any other ideas for the team?
Asked Achiko, deciding to get back to the topic at hand.
I do have one more idea, said Izuku. He went to approach their classmate Tokoyami. Hey, are you available? He asked. I would completely understand if you're not. Don't get depressed again, said Toru. I haven't been asked to join a team yet, said Tokoyami. Izuku breathed a sigh of relief. So do you have a strategy? He asked. I do, said Izuku. Hey! I was looking for you,
yelled Mei, kid who got first place.
I want to join your team.
The four looked at her.
Sorry, but I already have a full team, said Izuku. Fine then. I'll make my own team, said Mei. With blackjack and hookers.
Sorry, couldn't help it. I guess I was worried about not having a full team for nothing,
said Izuku.
Then he found a plate of cupcakes in his hands.
Sorry, I should have done it sooner, said Toru. It's fine, said Izuku. Where did the cupcake come from? Asked Tokoyami. Don't question the cupcakes, Achiko told him. So what's the strategy? Asked Tokoyami. He's planning to do skywalk while I my quirk to make everyone lighter, she explained. Is that the name your flying technique? Asked Tokoyami. It is,
said Izuku, slipping into Sanji mode while putting a toothpick in his mouth. The truth is we can't go on the defensive.
What? Seriously? Asked Achiko. Tokoyami nodded in agreement. Everyone's going to want our headband, said Izuku. Only the top 4 teams will go on to the next round. If we want to get to the next round, we have to steal as many headbands as we can. Not only that, but we should take the ones that get stolen. This is when not if the 10 million points get stolen, we can just ignore it if we have high enough points. Wow, that's a really brutal strategy, said Achiko. Pirate, said Toru. Yeah, that's a good point, sighed Achiko. There is also something I have to tell you before the game begins, said Tokoyami. What is it? Asked Izuku, slipping out of Sanji mode.
Tokoyami's quirk is that he has a living shadow beast known as Dark Shadow living inside of him. However, its strength depends on the darkness level. During the day it's best at defense, but at night it could get wild and uncontrollable. It also depended on the brightness of the sun.
Also after his explanation, Izuku had one about hockey,
as well as Toru coming up with a plan to psyche out the other team.
Soon enough it was time for the match.
There were 12 teams, most of it were 4-person teams.
However, they're 2 3-person teams and 2 2-person teams.
The plan for Izuku's team was actually simple. Tokoyami would be the front horse, while Izuku and Achiko were the back horses with Toru as the rider.
However, there was a pretty big problem. Toru decided to go topless.
Granted, she was invisible, but still Izuku was having a pretty big nosebleed because of that fact.
Tokoyami was also blushing. Toru proceeded to stuff tissues up his nose. "Try to keep your head in the game," said Toru.
"I know,"
said Izuku.
But he tried not to dance and he succeeded, but pink hearts came from him.
"Does he do that a lot?" asked Tokoyami. "Not as much as you would think," said Achiko.
"Sorry,"
said Izuku. "We're used to it by now," giggled Toru.
And soon enough the game began. Of course, everyone started to gun for their team.
"All right," said Izuku. Achiko made herself, Toru and Tokoyami weightless while Izuku used skywalk to carry them into the air.
"What?
No way!" yelled Tetsu.
"Was anyone paying attention to how I even won the race?"
yelled Izuku at everyone's shocked faces. However, Izuku felt someone coming nearby.
Turned out Mei had teamed up with Kota, Kyoka, and Sato.
She was the rider.
In the teacher's box, Hibiki was breathing a sigh of relief. "I'm so glad she didn't team up any of my kids," he said. Back on the field, it should be pointed out the reason why they were in the air. Mei was a member of the support course, meaning she could give her teammate support items to use during the match, including a jetpack.
"I didn't know you could fly,"
yelled Mei, pointing at him.
The answer is no one was really paying attention to you during the race," said Toru.
She flew close to them, but thanks to Dark Shadow they were not only able to fend them off, but also steal their headband.
Dark Shadow gave Toru the headband and she put it around her neck. "Thanks, or the headband," said Izuku as they decided to land.
"Okay, that was just brutal,"
said Kyoka. "I thought he was going to be a pushover," pouted Mei.
"He might look sweet and cute on the outside, but inside he got a soul of a pirate," said Sato. "I'm not making that up, by the way, he was a pirate in a past life."
"Should we even be telling her that?" asked Kyoka. "We don't even know if they're trying to keep that a secret."
That was when suddenly the jetpack stopped working.
"Oh no! My baby!" she cried. "I think we went over the weight limit." "Are you kidding me?" yelled Kyoka.
Kota just sighed as they started losing altitude.
As they landed, Izuku's team. "Time to on the offensive?" asked Toru. "Not yet," said Izuku.
That was when he saw teams were still after them. Izuku saw Shoji seemingly alone with his arms in a weird way as if shielding something, however he quickly realized he wasn't alone.
"We need to make another jump now," said Izuku. "Mineta and Tsu are in there." "All right," said Achiko.
"What?" They heard Tsuyu and Mineta yelled out in shock as they jumped into the air again. Of course the team had already skywalked away.
"How did they know I was in here?" cried Mineta. Flashback. "I haven't properly explained hockey," said Izuku. "You mean that black thing you do with your leg?" asked Toru. "Yeah, but it's not just that," said Izuku. "There's 3 kinds of hockey: armament, observation, and conquerors." "Oh wow," said Toru. "I take that blackness is armament," said Tokoyami. "You're right," said Izuku, "but what might surprise, it's not the one I'm best at, it's observation." "What does it do?" asked Achiko. "I can sense where people are. Not only that, but I can predict most moves," said Izuku.
"Every time I learn about your abilities, the more I can understand why that villain became so scared," said Tokoyami. "So with a combination of Dark Shadow and my hockey we'll be an unstoppable team."
said Izuku, slipping into Sanji mode. Shouldn't he should have been your first choice, then Ida? Asked Ochako. Izuku's sweat dropped when she said that. End of flashback. As Izuku's team flew through the sky, Bakugo flew towards them using his explosions. Great! Muttered Izuku, of course he would come here. Tokoyami. I got him. Said Toru. Hey, we all know what she does to him. Laughed Dark Shadow. Yeah, he can talk as well. Bakugo was about to grab the headband. Hey! She cheered. Then she stuffed the cupcake into his mouth, causing him to fall in shock. However, his team caught him, which consisted of Kirishima, Mina and Shiro, who used his tape to catch him. You know, we really shouldn't be surprised that she did that. Said Kirishima. She does shut you up with cupcakes all the time. Said Mina, you think you would learn by now. He finally swallowed the cupcake. Look, that's not important. Yelled Bakugo as it called that as long as he didn't touch the ground it was allowed. Were you savoring the cupcake? Yelled Kirishima in shock. No, of course not. He lied. However, that was when he noticed he was surrounded by members of Class 1B. Not only that, but Bakugo's headband was stolen by someone from Class 1B. At around the same time, it was decided to put up the scores, and it was surprising that the members of Class 1B were having higher score than members of Class 1A. Turned out one of the members of a boy named Nito Monoma had a plan for his class to just qualify for the first game, then show off what they could do during the second, showing how they were superior to Class 1A. At same time Izuku's team landed, and Todoroki's team showed up. I'll be taking that headband now, said Todoroki. However, Izuku's team was ready for this. Should I now use the weapon I have? Asked Toru. Use it, said Izuku. Toru took out a bazooka. In the announcer's booth. Wait, is that even allowed? Yelled Present Mike. I would like to remind everyone that we don't know where she gets her things. Sighed Aizawa. Toru aimed the bazooka for Todoroki's mouth, then fired. It shot out a cupcake. She then fired at Ida and Kaminari, then the team ran like hell. Sorry Momo, but feeding would give you advantage, called out Toru, as they ran towards the various members of Class 1B. Don't worry, my aim is true, I will make sure to not waste food, said Toru. Good, said Izuku. Is everyone ready? All right. I'm all set, cheered Toru. I'm ready, said Tokoyami. They quickly ran by Monoma's team, stealing all the headbands around his neck. Then there was followed by going after another Class 1B team, a girl with red hair wearing it in the side ponytail. Bakugo's eye twitched. Deku! He yelled. It should be noted that Bakugo changed his plans right after this to go after Monoma, however he once again changed plans. All right. We're going after 10 million after all, yelled Bakugo. Make up your mind, muttered Shiro. I'm going after him again, yelled Bakugo. He launched himself at the team. He managed to grab the headband from Toru's head. Shiro then managed to grab and pull him back. Bakugo was laughing as he placed the headband around his neck. No way, yelled Present Mike. Team Bakugo has swiped the 10 million point headband from Team Hagakure. Even so, they're still in second place after stealing all those headbands. Interesting strategy. I guess I can't surprised by it, said Aizawa. On the field he saw that Izuku's team were all applauding him. Why are you clapping? Demanded Bakugo. No way, yelled Kirishima. Haven't you figured it out? TNT for brains, said Izuku with an evil smirk. You're the one with the 10 million points. He tricked us, yelled Mina. What do you mean? Yelled Bakugo. That was when he noticed that the other teams had all surrounded them. Good luck, cheered Toru. Achiko once again lightening her team, as Izuku used air walk to get away. Since when does he play dirty? Yelled Bakugo. I'm pretty sure it was when learned he was a pirate in a past life. Said Mina. Yeah, it's kind of obvious. Said Kirishima with a sweat drop. Bakugo's eye twitched. In the teacher's box, most of the teachers were surprised. Should you really be surprised though? Asked Hibiki. Izuku was pirate in his past life. He was a good guy, but he still committed a ton of crimes. All Might sighed. He's still a good kid at heart, but when it's a fight like this he has no other choice but to play dirty if he wanted to get to the next round. Said Hibiki. Pabody's nerfed after all. Agreed Aiko. Did she do that on purpose or was it a glitch? Asked All Might. I told her, it's cute when a person says it, when AI says it they think it's a glitch. Said Hibiki. Ugh. Groaned Aiko. Back on the field, other rather above it. So do you think Todoroki will still be after us or? Said Achiko. We'll see when we land. Said Izuku. There you are. Yelled Ida when they landed. So, this is about those declaration of rivalries or do you think we still have the 10 million points? Said Izuku. We already lost it to Bakugo. Said Achiko. Deku! You bastard! Yelled Bakugo behind them as his team was being chased. Todoroki stared at them. So what's your choice, do you want to fight and try to steal as many as you want or join the Bakugo chase? Asked Izuku, you don't have much time left. That was your plan to begin with. Said Todoroki. To get as many points as possible then pawn it off on either you or him. Said Izuku. That is a dirty trick. I can't blame you as I'm sure you had to fight dirty many times in your past life, but was that show dialer just to get inside my head? Asked Ida. He began to start crying. No, of course not. I would never do that. Yeah, he really did want to team up with you until he realized it was a bad idea. Said Achiko. Ida once again felt that glare on him. So what are you going to do? Asked Izuku managing to stop crying. You do have enough points to move on, you can try to whittle down my points, run the clock or go after Bakugo. Up to you. Dark shadow warp around the team, Toru twirled her cupcake bazooka. While Izuku, Achiko and Tokoyami all looked determined. Is it wrong I think we should go after them? Asked Kaminari. You just want to get shot in the mouth with cupcakes. Yelled Ida and Momo. That was when Toru shot a cupcake into Kaminari's mouth. He gave a thumbs up and said what was clearly trying to say thank you. But his mouth was full. Todoroki was just confused. This is getting so weird. He muttered. 10 seconds left. Called out midnight. So, what should we do? Asked Achiko. Let him make the first move. Said Izuku. Deku! Yelled Bakugo, I found you. Oh, we can just run into the air the next few seconds. Said Izuku. Probably the best idea. Agreed Tokoyami. Achiko then lightening the load once again, Izuku got into the air. You're not getting away with Deku. Yelled Bakugo. He launched himself again, ready for revenge. However, Todoroki gritted his teeth de-icing to go after the 10 million headband. Everything became super tense. Time's up. Called out midnight. Bakugo fell face first with his leg twitching. However, he kept the headband. Izuku's team landed. None taken. Cheered Toru. All right. Said Izuku. Hopefully we won't have to do anything that dirty. Sighed Achiko. Weren't you a ninja? Asked Tokoyami. Yeah. Ninjas were pretty sneaky. Said Toru as she got down. Well. Said Achiko blushing. All right. Let's get into which teams move on to the next round. Called out present Mike, in first place is Team Bakugo. You're going to pay for this, Deku, yelled Bakugo. We still got first, said Mina with a shrug. But it wasn't a fair fight, yelled Bakugo, they let us win. Izuku just ignored him.
In second place is the pirate team, Team Hagakure,
yelled present Mike.
Toru high-fived everyone on the team, including Dark Shadow.
In third place is Team Todoroki, called out present Mike. Todoroki, however, stared at Izuku. And in fourth place. No way. They came back from the dead at the last minute. Team Shinso, yelled present Mike.
Everyone turned to Team Shinso. It was the purple-haired General Studies member. What was strange was his entire team was confused by what was going on.
Wait, how many points did we have? Asked Ochako. I think that the most important person wasn't paying attention to the points, said Toru, though it's hard to gauge if it was because she didn't want to do the complex math or because of rule of funny. A little of both. Okie dokie Loki. She cheered. Who is she talking to? Asked Tokoyami. I have no idea, said Ochako with a sweat drop. Midoriya, yelled Mineta, how did you know we were in there? Oh, I'll explain later, said Izuku. You did play dirty, but it was kind of expected, said Kyoka.
Wait, are you keeping the whole past life thing a secret because I might have blabbed about your past life to that handsome girl?
Said Sato. She doesn't seem like the type to even care about it, said Ochako. Hey! All 5 of us are going to the next round. Toru cheered to Momo and Mashireo.
Mashireo was extremely quiet for some reason.
Hey, you okay? Asked Toru. I'm fine, sighed Mashireo. All right. We're going to have an hour so everyone can have lunch. And then we'll continue with round 3. Called out present Mike, hey Eraserhead. Let's go get lunch. I'm going to take a nap, muttered Aizawa. And soon enough everyone was making their way to get lunch. However, Todoroki had approached Izuku to talk. And little did Izuku know was that talk would change things between the two. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 11. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.